I'm not gonna fucking find it. Bankolis.
All right. Well, that's a hell of a way to start. We were trying to do this nice and professional, but
technology's not even helping.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. Welcome to the Chuck and Nux podcast. And I don't think you guys expected us to get that serious, but here we are. We did it. Of course, since our last podcast, the hockey world's lost a lot of people.
Yeah, a lot.
America.
Fuck you, COVID.
Yeah,
well, actually,
but I don't think COVID's in trouble. America is hurting right now.
America?
Yeah.
As in North America?
No, America is.
Oh.
America's hurting most because Donald J.
Oh,
Trump
fuck.
was voted.
That's not what
he was voted out. And we know it was all fraud.
Fraud like my singing.
That's the very center. New location, y'all.
Oh, we're kind of hiding Ellis, but then we might. There, that's good. That's nice.
Yeah, we're in. So that's what it is.
Cool. All right,
let's get to it. So yeah, there are a few tributes we got to pay tribute to. That's
wow.
Wow. We're in fine form right now.
We are winning, and this guy's sober.
Yeah. Who would have thought? So I guess we'll start with the most important and go from there, right?
Yep, I agree.
It doesn't really matter. They're all very important. Good Lord. So we're going to start by giving a tribute to the legendary Joey Moss. As an Oilers fan, Joey Moss was an icon. Like, he really did have quite an impact. And after he passed, there's so many great stories that came out from it. Like, as an Oilers fan, I like, how could you not get pumped up watching him sing the national anthem?
Honestly, I don't think it's just an Oilers fan.
Well, but like, as an Oilers fan, knowing he's our guy,
right. Yeah,
and
I understand.
He's there tight with all the guys. It meant something. But like, so that's what I was gonna lead up to. So like, as a fan of another team, like, everybody knew who Joey Moss was,
yeah,
right?
It hit home no different than if you're an Oilers fan.
Yeah,
because you watch, whether you're a Flames fan, a Leafs fan. But if you got a chance to watch a game on TV and that camera zoomed into Joey singing a national anthem, like,
heartwarming, first of all. Yeah.
Exactly.
Passion there. And, I think my favorite thing that came out of all this is like hearing some of the stories how, like, for those of you that don't know, I'll give you like the short version here. Wayne Gretzky was dating Joey's sister, Vicky. And at one point, Wayne was with Vicky to go pick up her brother, Joey, who worked at a bottle depot. And, for someone with Down syndrome, what your regular day-to-day life is like that. They talked about how a lot of people with Down syndrome back in that time, it wasn't like they were given any other opportunities.
And if they were even lucky to get a job.
Yeah. So when they went to pick him up at the bottle depot, Wayne noticed that, like, he had this amazing work ethic, and he talked to Mr. Sather, how he always says at every interview. Gretzky always says Mr. Sather, which is pretty cool. And they brought Joey into work for the team. And all the stories that you hear, like how he was one of the guys, and it was so beautiful, like how he was not treated any differently. And Wayne Gretzky told this story, and I am going to use the R word because Wayne used the R word when he said this. On Oilers Now, Wayne Gretzky was talking about how they'd be hanging out there, and Joey Moss would say, would talk about a play or something that they should do in the game. And then Wayne looked at Joey and said, Joey, that's actually pretty smart. And Joey looked at him and said, yeah, I'm retarded. I'm not stupid.
I never heard that.
No, I never did either. So when I heard that story, I was like, I got to tell that. And like, to use like, and I was like, Nobody had a problem with him saying the R word there because that's not what it was.
Yeah, but it was in the context of the conversation.
So that was a great story. Sam Gagne had a great piece in the Players Tribune talking about Joey Moss. Ryan Whitney on Spit and Chicklets played a video of how of the team reacting to Joey Moss wrestling Dustin Penner.
Yeah.
And like such a great story. And I think the most heartwarming thing that came out of it was somebody had texted to Oilers Now after Joey Moss passed away, and he said, talked about why he was such an icon because he said, I grew up with a Down syndrome sibling,
Right.
and Joey Moss, seeing what he accomplished, it made me go from kind of being a little embarrassed about it to being proud of having someone like that in your family. Now, Joey Moss lived a great long life.
Not long enough. But
no, it's never long enough. But like you said, if you would have said 20 years ago, this guy would live to be 57. Yeah. So, you know, it's with heavy hearts that we do that. And it's just a great story to see somebody with a, you know, a challenge, or that was, you know, not given much opportunity.
Nowadays, I don't consider it a challenge.
No, and like
because
it's a great stigma to get rid of.
Yeah, everyone gives them the same opportunity. I shouldn't even say them. Everyone gets the same opportunity nowadays.
Yeah.
And it's awesome that in that time he was given that.
Yeah. So the Oilers were ahead of the game that way. And I think that you're going to see more of that continue because, like you said, the Joey Moss Cup is a game that is played every year. And I'm pretty sure that the Oilers practice facility is going to be called the Joey Moss Memorial. And yeah, it's just beautiful to look at, you know. Apparently his favorite song on karaoke night was La Bamba. Oh, we should have played that. Well, now we got it.
Too late. No. I
hope the Oilers use that as their goal song. That'd be great.
One thing you don't hear about, I guess maybe in other parts of the NHL it has happened with part of the staff, whether it be the trainer or the stick guy. I don't know of anyone else that has been such an inspiration to so many decades of athletes in Edmonton, not just hockey.
Yeah.
Because he was big with the Eskimos too.
Well,
right?
That's true. So, yeah. He was, like they said, Joey Moss is the most famous person at Edmonton and he doesn't even know it.
No, exactly.
That's so cool.
And you know what? If you've seen him walking in Calgary, I guarantee you anyone there would know who he is too.
Oh yeah. And probably would still love him and would probably
100%. Yeah.
Like they said also, Joey had no problem shooting the shit and throwing insults at everybody.
Yeah.
Dwayne Rollison told a story about how he would come in and he'd be like, Are you gonna be a sieve, or are you gonna be able to stop a beach ball today? To Dwayne fucking Rollison, man. Like that's something. So yeah, rest in peace, Joey Moss. 57 wonderful years. And I hope you're singing La Bamba.
I'm sure he is.
Okay, well, there's our. This is the most serious the Chuck and Nucks can ever get.
Our itinerary has really started off
well,
sad.
It's because we filled it with technical difficulties that we're not going to get into.
No.
We're trying to make this more professional, and the world's just like, nope, we don't want that. We don't want
not
that
today, fuckers.
All right, so let's go from one depressing story to another. Are you familiar with the Travis Roy story? Is it? I hope that's actually his name.
Elaborate a little bit, because when you put that one in the itinerary, I wasn't.
Okay, so he's a Boston University.
Oh yes,
I don't think it's
Travis.
Oh God, I'm gonna feel so bad if that's the case.
Oh yes, it is Travis.
It is. Thank God. Yeah.
Yes, that's right. Sorry. Yes, I'm aware of it.
So I first understood this story from Bill Burr's podcast, actually, because of course I'm a Maxwell like himself. Yeah. A guy who, 11 seconds into his debut, he crashed headfirst into the boards, and it left him paralyzed.
Quadriplegic, actually.
Well, okay, to me, that's paralyzed.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
I was specifying, I guess.
And what's beautiful about it, this guy, like, it's just like anybody else could be dealt that hand, and then you can look at your life and be like, well, it's not fair it happened, and you can give up. But Travis Roy did the exact opposite.
I think, honestly, if you want to compare it a little bit to Joey Moss, he took what he got and he ran with it.
Yeah, and he made it so much.
And he fucking did an awesome job.
And all he wanted to do was keep inspiring.
Yep.
And he made his life's goal. So he only lived to 45 because obviously, once again, complications with, being a quadriplegic, it's difficult. And just from what you hear, the stories, like, it's something I wasn't familiar with. I recall hearing something about that happening to a player. I couldn't put a name on it.
Right.
But he's a legend in the Boston area.
I think if you put it into perspective, what happened there for a loss is going to affect the Boston College fan base like Joey Moss affected.
Exactly. So, granted that I don't know much about the person, or I didn't really hear much about him. I just thought, we had to give props there, and
deserves it.
And yeah, because that's a great story. Like I've been reading a lot of great inspirational stuff, and when you hear someone that gets dealt that, like, it makes you look at your own life and be like am I really gonna like have you thought about some things that ruin your day?
Yeah.
And how fucking petty it feels when when you compare it to that. So I think that's something that's good for everybody to remember, to keep you humbled, and you didn't just look up to someone like that, and if they can find the joy in life, like we can do it too.
Yeah.
Fuck. All right. So the next one is going to be a little bit more easy.
Yes. Yeah, it's a little bit more acceptable, I guess. Is the way
to celebrate life for the great Howie Meeker, passing away at the age of 97.
Yeah.
Like Connor McDavid. That's how long, like Connor McDavid number.
Yes.
That's his age.
I got that. Thanks for explaining that one to me.
So I have a personal connection to Howie Meeker. And I didn't realize that he had a broadcasting career or anything. Like I totally missed all of that. But I went to a hockey school. Like this must have been 2004. So no, it would have been a little bit like 2002, 2001, 2002 or something. Because I was still playing hockey as a kid. And I went to this hockey school. Like that's what we did. I don't know. And so I go to this hockey school. And the reason I wanted to go is because I was a defenseman. Yeah. And I was always a passer. I didn't have any confidence in my shot. And my mom's, we'll get there. Don't worry. And so I wanted to learn how to be a scorer because I was too much of a passer. And so I go to this hockey school. It's called Howie Meeker Hockey School. So my mom takes me the first time. We go out there, and there's a bunch of younger guys going around. It was
probably a week-long thing?
Yeah, I think it was a week. Yeah, it was in we drive to Grand Prairie every day. And so 45-minute drive every day for me to go and play in this hockey school. And it was like, that's my parents giving me a great opportunity. Yeah. So my mom took me the first couple of days. And I remember the first day, I just bought a CCM Vector. Yeah. And I cut it.
One piece or two piece?
One piece.
Whoa.
It's my first one piece stick. And we cut it a little bit higher because I was obviously going to grow into it. I'm like 12 years old and I have another growth spurt coming up. And I was super stoked. And I was like, this new stick is going to make me a better player. I'm going to get that shot that I want.
The logic, yeah.
First thing we do on the ice, we're just out skating around waiting. Howie Meeker, this grumpy old fuck, comes out and yells at everybody and tells us all come in the middle and throw our sticks in there. All right? He'd grab a stick out and then he'd be like, whose stick is this? And then if it was your stick, you got up. And you're like, okay, what is this method? And he goes, okay, come over here. He went over. He had a fucking hacksaw and he measured to your chin, cut it right there. And I remember being like, sir, this is an expensive stick and I'm going to grow. And he goes, do you want to be a good hockey player? You're going to follow my rules. And I was just like, what a grouch. I remember thinking this guy was the grouchiest, meanest motherfucker in the world. And he was. He yelled at us a lot. He broke my spirit at age 12. So I thought he's such a dick. And I was like, what does this guy know? Third day, my grandpa takes me to the game. Now, my grandpa died of cancer in 2003, so that does kind of put this timeline like not too long before.
Right, yeah.
And he took me to a lot of my hockey practices, and we get there, and he was telling me that he was really excited that he might get to meet Howie Meeker. I was like, what's so special about him? He's such a grumpy old man. My grandpa was an old man, but a very jovial old man. I thought that's what all old men were like. So he told me that Howie Meeker was actually his favorite hockey player. I was like, oh yeah, like from around here? He goes, no, he played in the NHL. And for me, I was like, what? So this grumpy old man played in the NHL. After that, I listened to everything Howie Meeker said. So I always remember that. And you want to know something cool about that camp? I got a pretty good shot to the point where I remember my first game playing again, I could not pass the puck because I forgot.
Shoot.
I forgot how to pass. My mom said that. She's like, yeah, you learned how to shoot.
You
Forgot how to pass. So such a tragedy of my life.
It's kind of funny because I told my dad about how Howie Meeker had cut your hockey stick.
Yeah.
And my dad's like, well, that doesn't surprise me. And I'm like, what? He's like, yeah. He said he was probably playing with too long of a hockey stick. And my dad was the same way. My stick was always on my chin. Yeah. And I always played like that. Like to this day, now because I'm a lazy fat fuck, it's a little bit longer. But so anyway, then I got thinking, I'm like, you know what? My dad coached me most of my minor hockey. Holy fuck, was he grumpy? And he wasn't even old.
So he would have been a good disciple of Howie Meeker.
But he wasn't actually grumpy. He was just stern. And when he got on the ice, he wasn't my dad anymore. He was the coach. Yeah. Right? And it was that subtle difference that as I got older made me realize, wow, I'm actually learning because he's not treating me like his kid on the ice.
Yeah.
But he did that with all the players. But all those players looked up to him. I have friends that played minor hockey with me that will text me and be like, hey, how's your dad doing? Mm-hmm. Not, hey, how are you doing?
Well, a coach has a lot to do with your development. So what
I'm getting at is that a situation like that obviously stayed with you.
Yeah.
And obviously I have friends that have remembered times from when my dad coached.
And there is something about that why your stick is under your chin, it gives you more control.
Yes. And you can't deny it. I'm a good stick handler.
You're a very good stick handler.
It probably has to do with
your stick handling is amazing.
So, and
it's the nicest thing I want to say about your game.
Thanks. Man.
That's the only thing you got going.
That's all I got. Yep.
But it works.
So anyway, it's not really a relation, but it got me thinking. I was like, yeah, that's probably why people ask me how my dad's doing and not me.
That's true. And like thinking growing up, like your hockey coach, like you did learn a lot from them. If you had somebody that had even an inkling, like it's funny the things that stick with you and how you don't even realize it when you're playing. Like you still see it, right?
I do remember going to Golden Bear Hockey School.
Oh, nice. That would have been a nice one.
Oh, dude, it was fucking hell.
Really?
I was peewee aged. And so because they had, what did they call it? The Butter Dome?
Yep.
So that's where it all was. So we'd start every morning with off-ice training. And we'd have to run the whole university. That was our training, 11 years old. Then we get on the ice and the coaches running the drills and stuff like that were fairly stern. But then the third day, we had like an off-ice meeting, and those coaches kind of sat down in a room with us and we were discussing things. And then they brought in a parent for each of the kids and kind of said, hey, this is something that we notice is a strength for your kid. So going forward, this is the coach that you're going to be working with for the rest of the. So anyway,
I'm excited to see where this goes.
The one coach goes to my dad and says, well, Brad is he's got a good shot. He stick handles well, but he's not the fastest skater. They're like, he has great form, but he's not a fast skater.
He makes Joe Thornton look like Connor McDavid.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So anyway, that's exactly what they probably said.
Back then, yeah, totally. Connor McDavid would have been
3.
But anyway, so they said Brad's gonna be with this coach for the rest of the hockey camp.
Wow. Oh, the French comes out when you're
and my dad looked at the guy and they're like, no, the skating coach can't skate. He skates worse than any of the players on the ice. And they're like, sir, well, he plays for the Golden Bears. He's like, he can play for the Edmonton Oilers. I don't give a fuck. He's like, if you're going to have my son working on skating the rest of the time, well, then I'll go to a power skating school.
Oh, how'd that go?
The rest of the hockey camp went the way the first 3 days went. So either my dad was an asshole and changed things, or enough parents complained. But I do remember seeing the Golden Bears room and thinking, this is awesome.
Awesome. Yeah. That's the highest class in college hockey, I think.
I agree. But yeah, I just remember going back.
The Dinos don't have the same reputation.
I remember going back to my aunt and uncle's place, and my dad just kept calling out that one coach. He skates and his head bobs like a chicken. And then like the next day I'm watching the guy skate, I'm like, holy fuck. Sorry, it's a little off topic, but we're talking about hockey camps.
All right, no, it's all good. It's all good. It's not like this podcast is ever known for its beautiful structure.
Right.
Um,
This is actually pretty structured, to be honest.
this one has been one of our best ones so far. Let's then
finish off
our tributes.
Howie Meeker. At the end of the day, I never got to enjoy his camp, but I actually have some friends that did. And
I probably played against them.
Probably, or yeah, been at the camp at the same time.
Were they all assholes?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah,
But
that's what I felt like.
I do remember that they all enjoyed it. What are you looking for?
My wine.
Oh, non-wine or grape
Oh,
juice?
is that one full?
Yes, it is.
Oh, well, that's the one.
But anyway, so yeah, I had heard about it. I just never went to it. So I'm glad you kind of got to actually meet him too.
Yeah,
That's really
even though I did not appreciate who
or
he
you
was.
didn't even know who he was. Who the fuck is this guy?
I do remember there was one guy that looked like Jason Spezza. It was not Jason Spezza, but he looked like him. He just played for the Grand Prairie Storm.
Oh yes, I know who that was. I'm kidding.
Oh no, I was like, fuck yeah, man. Let's look him up. And by the way, non-alcoholic wine is not just grape juice.
Okay.
It is still fermented grapes.
They just take the alcohol out of it.
Well, they de-alcoholize it.
That's what I just said.
Well, it's different.
They take the alcohol out of it.
They don't take it all out.
99.9%.
Anyway, it's really good because it works well with, it's a good meal pairing kind of thing.
Okay.
Anyways.
All right.
So one more tribute.
And this one affects not just hockey fans. More non-hockey fans.
This might affect everybody's grandparents.
Parents, their children.
Yeah.
Their children's dogs.
Okay, let's just say everybody in the world knows who this man was.
At least North America.
Yeah. So we gotta do it like this. The host of Jeopardy.
Alex I don't know.
You don't know what I'm doing. I'm trying to make it like Jeopardy.
Oh,
if the answer to the question is who is Alex Trebek, I would be like,
who is Alex Trebek?
Whatever. What is? But they go, what is?
No, I was finishing it for you so we can move on.
Wow, we fucking butchered that.
I thought you were doing like when they introduce him onto the set.
No, I wasn't, but we could have done that too. Okay, I'll take stupid fucking way to do that for 300, Alex. There we go. I wanted to get something in there like that. So yeah, Alex Trebek. No matter who you are, you watch Jeopardy at some point in your life.
Fucking rights. Yeah.
Yeah, just a graceful guy and Canada's finest.
And he's always shown a love for hockey. Like that's always been known.
Yeah, because he's Canadian.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying.
That's kind of what happens, bud.
Okay, all right. But at the same time, I guess it came as a shock, but it was to be expected. He had cancer.
Pancreatic cancer.
He'd been battling cancer.
And
he fought for a long time.
That's the thing. Like I thought he was in remission. That's why I was kind of surprised when he when he died. But apparently,
looking back at the last draft with Ottawa bringing him in for the pick,
great
moment. It's going to be with us for a long time now. So
and of course, like on Twitter, if you want to have a good tear-jerking moment, there's two that I found from Alex Trebek. It was not long after his diagnosis.
Yes.
Somebody on the show didn't know the answer, so he wrote down, "We love you, Alex," and he spent all of his money except for $5. Yeah. And when Alex Trebek he reads it, he chokes up and he goes, "You know, $5." And I know it's how he it was a small gesture that he obviously appreciated and probably needed that at that moment. And then the other one was the man who I don't know where he immigrated from, but he was talking about how I used to sit on my father's lap and watch and watch you. I learned English from you.
Yeah.
And it was just that guy gets teary-eyed, and it just shows what kind of an impact that is, and how who's going to be able to fill those shoes. It's going to be next to impossible.
I did actually see something else, and I don't know, it was just a Reddit conversation, so I don't know how much truth it holds. I would imagine there's some truth behind it, but it was Alex talking about how he planned to end his last show.
Oh, really?
And he literally he told producers, just give me 30 seconds. Just so he could kind of sign off and say goodbye and leave the door open for whoever else replaces him.
Okay, yeah, they said that they're still to air the last few episodes that he did.
Right. So I don't know if that actually happened or not.
Okay.
But I read that it was discussed, and just it was so humbling the way he apparently talked about it, because
I wouldn't expect nothing less.
Exactly. But he didn't
amazing class.
He didn't want it about him, and he didn't want to put pressure on the producers of Jeopardy to pick the next host.
Fair
And
enough.
like, yeah. So
Alex Trebek Jr. will be the next host.
I don't know.
No, I was like, never mind.
Neil
deGrasse
Tyson would be an awesome one.
He's too smart. What I liked about Alex Trebek is he seems like not like he's obviously intelligent, knows enough, but he didn't seem like a know-it-all.
I guess
and Neil deGrasse,
right. It'd be pretty funny though for Neil deGrasse to do
because he'd be sitting there like
episode, he wouldn't even have the answer. Be like, nope, you're wrong.
Exactly, because he knows everything. It's like, I'll take 500 for the cosmos, and he'd just be like, oh, you have no idea what you did.
Fucking moron.
Yeah, you idiot.
Yeah, you're right.
Died in a hand gliding accident. What an idiot.
All right, I guess it's Steve-O. That's the only other reasonable option.
That'd be great. He would kill it. He would crush it. I actually like that idea. You know, you don't want to try and like get an Alex Trebek kind of esque person.
No.
You need to throw it the other direction. You have to reinvent Jeopardy. Steve-O. I agree. Kanye for president and Steve-O for Jeopardy. Y'all.
I'm a genius.
Like, why aren't we executives? That's all I'm thinking about.
Or producers.
Yeah. Where are you going?
To the refrigerator.
What's in the refrigerator, Bradley?
Beverages.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What kind of beverages?
Oh, cold ones.
Ooh, I like cold ones.
I kind of forgot to grab a glass so I could show you how the nitros work.
Oh, you didn't get me one of mine. All right. Well, I guess I have to be tempted then. Sorry. Look at this. Can you believe this? Like, he's drinking in front of an alcoholic. Like,
fuck you.
Actually, just for everybody out there, Brad's a good guy. He's the only friend of mine that does not pressure me to drink.
I also didn't
drink in front of me on my 30th birthday.
And for how long after that or before that?
Yeah, and I'm really happy you're drinking again.
Well, I never stopped.
I know you didn't stop, but like
but you made it sound like I stopped.
Oh yeah, no. It feels good. It feels good that you can still enjoy your beverages, right?
Well, I don't know. I just didn't want to influence you.
I've been sober for so long that you know what I get high on now?
What?
Life.
Oh, life. Oh, fucking life.
I actually get high by running an awful lot, and that's why my physique is so good. So speaking of that, can we talk about some sports that we play?
So we started pickleball.
It's a great game, and it's apparently my.
It is fucking intense.
You sounded like Kreischer there. Like you actually literally sounded like Bert Kreischer. Did you watch his show yet?
The what?
Did you watch his show?
No.
Ooh, I know what we're doing after the podcast. Yeah. We're gonna watch The Cabin. All right.
Anyways, yes, you can talk about your 2 goals.
Oh, well, fuck. I was going to build it up. So over this last off season, I did a lot of off-season training. I got into the best shape of my life. Can't you tell my jawline is extraordinary?
It's fucking beautiful.
Isn't it? Like it was always a good feature. I don't know why I ever if beer wasn't so good, I would have been able to keep this a lot more. So I got in really good shape, and then we go to play hockey. Mm-hmm. First game of the season, playing the Red Wings. And
against the Red Wings.
What did I say?
With the Red Wings.
Well, we were playing with them.
All right.
But yeah, they were wearing different jerseys, and on the other side of the guys trying to score on the guy that we didn't want them to score.
They were trying to score against them.
And I scored 2 goals.
Nice.
That's all I'm going to say. I felt really good about my game.
You look good.
I did look good.
Yeah,
I could actually skate. I got my skate sharpened. I got my skate sharpened at this new place. Oh, speaking of which, we have a new sponsor. Oh, we have to determine if this is still a sponsor. Like, we still wear it.
Richie's our sponsor for life. I don't know.
Okay. Well, then send a check, bud.
Fucking.
Or donate to my Movember campaign. You hear that, Rich? That's all you got to do, and you can keep your sponsorship.
Or just say hi to us. like acknowledge we're real people.
Yeah.
Anyways, sorry, you went way off topic there.
Oh yeah, well, but I got my skate sharpened
Yes.
at our new sponsors. Bradley, do you want to have your moment?
Not really,
Why not?
because it's not. I don't know. It's not a thing.
What?
I don't know.
What do you own?
A business.
Brad is a business owner. Chuckin' Nuts Incorporated is not his only venture anymore.
No, I'm way more in debt than Chucking Nuts.
We are now sponsored by Flair's Napa Auto Parts.
I guess that is the.
What?
Nothing. I was gonna say.
Do you want a new jingle since you have a business now?
No, thanks, Charlie Sheen.
Charlie Harper is the jingle writer.
Right, but the act. All I was gonna say is that I was gonna actually say the business name and just say we're actually quite a large sponsor with the NHL.
Good for you.
And I was gonna let people guess. That's what I was trying to get at.
So yeah, but I was
Everyone's gonna be like, he owns a Canadian Tire?
When did you buy Scotiabank?
Bitch, I am the fifth season.
So a promotion that if you walk into Napa in Flair and you tell them you listen to the Chuck and Nuts podcast, they will give you a $500 gift certificate.
No, but I will sharpen.
No, they will give you a $500 gift certificate just for listening to the show. Isn't that great? Great sponsorship. I hope you guys do it. And you can buy a lot of parts.
But anyways, you actually skipped the whole point of the conversation is I sharpen skates.
Yes.
And Napa Auto Parts.
So you can get your skate sharpened.
And because of that, Trent scored 2 goals.
It's true.
Yeah.
So I got to get him sharpened before Monday.
You know what's crazy?
What?
I sharpened my skates and I scored 2 goals.
I don't remember you scoring 2.
Well,
I remember you scoring 1 that was beautifully set up by yours truly.
I put 2 in the back of the net. So whatever that means.
Yeah, but the first one was prettiest, right? Yeah.
It was actually a really confusing play.
I know.
I turned this way looking for you, and then all of a sudden you're behind me.
Well, that was my thing. I decided I was going to rush the net a lot more this year.
Right, but you went away from the net. That's why I was confused.
Well, I came in, and then you were standing in front kind of doing a screen in a battle, and I kind of just ran out of space, and I tried to backhand it, and it went off the side of the net, so I just went the other way, and I knew you were going to be out front, and I don't have great vision, so I was like, I'm just going to fucking throw this in front of the net. But I threw it between my legs as I was skating, so no one knew what was going on. And I looked back in slow motion. I was like, Brad, if you don't put that in, because the last few seasons, we are not good chemistry-wise.
We're terrible.
No,
if we were on Tinder, we would not match.
At all. It would be one dick pic sent, and that's it. And then it's over.
But anyways, the puck went in the net, and then
yeah. So we did that, and I'd say my first goal was the biggest surprise because I just took a shot and it went in.
Funny story though.
And you guys all tried to make me think it was tipped. I didn't even realize it had gone in, and then I was skating back, and then someone asked whoever was in front of them, "Hey, did you tip that?" And he's like, "No," and I'm like, oh, that means I scored. Sweet. And I was like, I got to act cool. And then my second goal was I shot, it got blocked, but I followed it up. And
yeah, but Carter passed it to you initially.
Oh, yeah.
So then we gave him shit when he got to the bench. We're like, hey, rookie. You don't pass to Trent.
That kid has great vision, and we have chemistry. But we have chemistry because, I see him, and I know if I put myself in a position, he'll actually give me the puck. Yeah. Unlike anybody else on our team. No. I know you guys are trying not to pass it to me because you guys don't like I heard when I scored my second goal, I heard a groan at the bench, for fuck's sakes, Trent has 2. And I was just like, well, that's great team chemistry. And that's why I went for a tryout with another team.
I mean, to add to that story, last year, Trent was going to potentially have a hat trick. And so me and another player spent the rest of the game trying to take the puck away.
Yeah. And the thing is, I was so close to getting my hat trick too in that first game, and I thought that one I wanted. I think I wanted it too bad. That's why I couldn't fucking hit the net. And then when I played with it for the Capitals, I had 6 shots, so I was getting chances, but they were all and that goalie sometimes a 5-hole would be, and every time I'm aiming for it, it's like a little fucking slit, like a little cooter. It's like trying to shoot it in vagina.
I put it in. Anyways.
It's pretty good. I'll give you that one. Yeah, so Yellow Jackets.
So yeah.
Season's back, and I went from, being a healthy scratch, plug, bench warmer in season 1, and here we are, season 4 starting up.
I'm pretty sure
I'm now...
you've played the same amount of time since the first time you came and played.
What do you mean?
Same amount of ice time.
No, I'm just saying, like, my quality of play.
Oh, I see.
I should have been a bench warmer, healthy scratcher, and now I'm a Chris Pronger. Someone call me Chris Pronger.
I was gonna say usually we're 3D, maybe 4. They're calling you Chris Pronger because of the number you wear, not because of the hockey you play.
Yeah, but it was also because of the hockey I play, and I'm also a player.
And you're sleeping with someone else's wife?
Huh? Am I?
What? The goalie's wife?
Was I?
Not you?
Oh,
okay. All right.
Well, you're not supposed to say that on the podcast. I thought that Pronger's wife was sleeping with people.
I thought
No, Mike Comrie was banging Tommy Salo's wife.
I thought that was Pronger.
No, Pronger's wife.
Both of them.
Maybe there's some sick
There was a
shit.
shit show back then.
I know Rafi Torres liked a lot of hookers and cocaine.
Yeah,
like he's the man.
You're right. That's what I was gonna say too.
Okay.
The whole time Rafi.
But I'm just saying. So I went from quality. Now I'm Chris Pronger, but I'm also player representative for the Yellow Jackets in the.
Well, call me when you have signing authority on the bank account.
Why don't I?
Because I do.
Well, why aren't you going to these fucking meetings?
I was supposed to, but it was my kids' minor hockey pitchers.
Oh yeah, use kids as a.
Right, I'm a responsible adult.
Stop being responsible.
I also coach that team, so it's not like, yeah, coach isn't here. We're gonna take a team picture without the coach.
You just Photoshop nowadays. That's what I would have done.
Yeah.
Okay, I think that's enough.
All right, that's enough.
But anyways, one more thing. Just guys, go check out I'm doing Move for Movember.
Yes.
This is actually something I've only got raised $70 and 20 of it was mine. I did get one anonymous donation, $50, and that's great. So what this what? Go ahead.
I was just saying, remind me so I can do it.
Okay, yeah. Well, thank you, Brad. So it's very important to me.
Trust me, it's important to me too.
Yeah. Mental health, men's mental health, especially, like, not that we're nitpicking, all mental health is serious, but like the Movember event, you guys obviously remember the mustaches. I'm doing the mustache too, even though I don't really want to.
That's rough.
Huh?
That's rough.
What, my mustache?
Yeah, because I shaved yesterday.
Okay, good for you. Like, some people grow facial hair fast, Brad, okay? What, we're day 14, I got my mustache, okay? It'll get thicker as it goes on. I'm going to fucking hate it, okay? Right? You want to know why I have depression? It's because people have made fun of my fucking facial hair since I was 12 years old.
You didn't squeak there when you said 12. You needed to squeak when you said 12.
When I was 12 years old. But on a serious note, yeah, mental health, like you said, yeah.
And just remember, when it comes to mental health, if you are listening and you're going through rough shit, contact us.
Yeah, seriously,
we'll
this is something I do. Yeah. It's like a passion of mine because we're really, I think the most beautiful thing you can say is like, I'd rather. And a lot of people with depression feel like they're a burden to others.
Right.
And the thing is, I think even there might have been something you said to me one time. You said, I'd rather you wake me up at 3 a.m. and talk for 5 hours rather than never get to see you again. Exactly. So that's a big important thing.
And this is actually quite related to hockey or sports in general, because mental illness is probably a lot bigger than they're admitting. And there's been stories written by The Athletic and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah, Colin Wilson's had a really good one that came out about his OCD, affecting his play. That was one I just read. So
it's just all things like that.
And it's something to end the stigma of it.
With this whole, our lifestyles completely changed.
The pandemic has made it much worse.
100%.
And so the Move for Movember event is the challenge was to run or walk or whatever. It's just called Move for Movember, and it's 60 kilometers in a month.
Yeah.
So we're not even halfway yet. I'm at 36 kilometers now. I just did 6K today. And the 60K is because 60 men commit suicide every hour due to mental health. So, when I go out there and I'm doing it, I enjoy running, and it's good for my mental health itself. To get moving makes me feel better. And I do that. And every time it gets hard, I think about, somebody that's in that dark place where I used to be. And like, I've been trying to kind of write down like kind of a bit of a biography about my own depression and mental health that I've had. And I like, it's scary sometimes, like when I go to that place in my head where I was at those dark times. And I think that if this raises any awareness for anybody that feels like that again, to know that you're not alone, that you can get through this is the most important thing. So this is something I hold dear to my heart. And I was going to do the 60K no matter what, if I got donations or not, but like, this is a real good cause and I will match everything I get at the end of the month. So that's my plan. So
Awesome.
I'll post all the links for that on this episode on the YouTube below here. It'll all be there.
Awesome. Okay,
let's fucking get back to, we are
this is
really getting depressed.
This was the really serious,
this
is our most serious, I'm sure.
It is probably, but sometimes it happens.
It happens, and this is a good time to do it.
Yeah, because from here on out, though, it's going to be nothing but fun, silly, fun. Okay.
Nothing but fun, huh?
Let's talk about hockey coming back. Or should we talk jerseys?
Jerseys?
Considering, I wonder how many people are watching this and are looking at my jersey right now and are like,
why can they see? Oh.
Is Trin buff, or is he wearing his wife's jersey? Did he buy this for Bentley and Bentley didn't want it, so he took it back? Well,
yes,
yeah, pretty much. Friend of the show, Mr. Audie, awesome Audie.
That was fucking terrible.
I had somewhere else I was going with it, but I lost it halfway through. The great Audie James, Audie rules.
Yes,
I believe
and he does rule.
He does
He's
rule.
fucking legit.
He's not a bad guy.
Follow him on every platform you can because he's legit.
Yeah, but he's a memorabilia kind of guy, and he finds deals. And he reached out to me and he said, "Bud, like, there's these Kassian jerseys for dirt cheap," and I was so excited to get a Zach Kassian jersey that I bought it, and I forgot to do the part where it says click on size. So I got a youth jersey pretty much.
The craziest part about this, because it is memorabilia, Cassian's actual tears are on this jersey from when Kachuk hit him too.
Oh, fuck you.
Oh, fuck you, bud.
I'm just going to say, I have my screensaver on my phone for a long time was Kachuk being fucking dolled by Cassian.
Oh,
so,
nice. Okay,
yeah.
Cool.
So I'm just.
Cassian was still crying. So.
No, he was not. He never cried once. He said he liked it. Big boy hockey. Yeah. If Kachuk's going to run around like that, he's got to answer the bell. He answered the bell. He reignited the Battle of Alberta. Can we just move on? Yeah. That was fucking awesome. Yeah. You guys still hate Cassian and I still hate Kachuk, but I
think that's ideally.
But like Ron Burgundy and Wes Mantooth, we may hate, but we goddamn it do we respect.
And that's what we want.
Dorothy Mantooth's a saint, by the way.
Yeah. We could probably lead right into OHL because of this.
Oh, yeah, this fucking sick league.
Because that's totally not happening this year.
No. And so, yeah, you guys know the OHL is coming back February 4th, but they because of COVID, they have to take out body
contact.
Yeah.
And fighting.
Yeah.
So I picture it as, okay, it's going to be like watching the World Juniors in Finland or in Sweden.
Or like, I'm sorry, and this is not being misogynistic, but it's going to be like watching women's hockey.
I don't know. Well, I guess
they don't have body checking.
Yeah, you're right. But World Juniors is probably not a great example, but because there's still those big hits every once in a while.
Well, it'd be like watching our beer league.
It'd be like watching European hockey. There's not a whole lot of hits in European hockey.
Are you serious? I just seen Jesse Puljujärvi level somebody on Twitter today.
It's a one-off, and those may still happen, right?
Mm.
Because at the end of the day, when someone wants to lay someone out, whether they're taking a penalty or not, they're going to do it.
Yeah.
Now, this year, they're going to have to get tested for COVID after.
Yeah. And the weirdest thing about this is it's like, how is that really preventing COVID?
It's not.
Because you're still going to have every other thing. Like, do you remember when the bubble first came up, how they said like players were going to have to like face-off formations?
Yeah, exactly.
It all just went out the wayside. It's like, fuck it. Let's just test people.
Yeah. So my thought is the OHL is organized enough that they could have had a bubble.
Mm.
And
it's just a lot more difficult to accomplish because of like the amenities
know,
needed and
I know.
finances and everything. Like there's a lot that goes into this. Like pretty much, I think
thought
Europe's
was-
got it figured out.
My thought was with say the OHL playing a bubble is they're going to play, let's say, in one city. Well, that city hasn't had a full hotel in probably 6 months. So why wouldn't they negotiate a deal to say, hey, we want these 2 hotels, all the teams are staying here for this amount? At least they know the fucking hotel's full.
Yeah.
And the revenue, there's no revenue anyways for these teams because no one's going to be watching in the
Which is
stands.
hard. Like, how do you justify it? Like, it doesn't make sense. In my opinion, okay, I'm not an anti-vaxxer. I'm skittish when it comes to these vaccines for like viruses. Like I didn't take
that just come out of nowhere.
Yeah. Like I didn't take the swine flu vaccine, and I'm pretty sure I know people that did, and let's just say they're fucked.
They have a tail.
Like I knew they always said bacon was cannibalism, but I thought that was a joke.
But realistically, they could have had what do they call it?
Yeah, but like what I would say about this vaccine, just get it here. I don't care anymore. Even if I get microchipped and become a cyborg, give it to me. I'd rather be a cyborg than live in this fucking world another year.
I did see something.
I want hockey back. I want normal life back.
I did see something on Facebook. It was related to heavy metal concerts.
Yeah.
And someone commented on it saying, I would take an unapproved vaccine to the forehead to see Nickelback live right now. And everyone hates Nickelback apparently.
Which I don't understand.
Me either. But anyways, it was hilarious because it's true.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I guess for people that aren't into that kind of crazy music, it'd be like me saying I will go to a Dan and Shay and Sam Hunt concert.
There you go. Chilling on back rows. How's that song go?
Body like a back road, driving with my eyes closed. I know every curve like the back of my hand. That one is catchy, I will admit.
I remember singing that in my living room at my birthday.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, there was video that came out of it.
My wife was fucking livid because I was spilling my beer all over the.
Yeah, I remember. Good times. Good times.
Anyways, so I that's the word. OHL should have had a development season where they just any of their draft picks or their or any of the players in their team, whether they're playing midgets, whatever, keep them together and just develop them.
Yeah.
Rather than doing this sound body checking as you have wrote it on our itinerary and watching half-assed hockey.
It's my favorite French word.
I like Comic Sans.
It's a great font.
But anyways, I think that would have been more beneficial to the players than playing this beer league type hockey. Because realistically, that's what it is.
Yeah, but put it this way. I think like they already kind of doubled back on it. Like once they release that,
I get it.
They kind of were like, well, no, it's not necessarily confirmed. It's just like, you just put it out there and you realize it's like the same thing with that Miller kid that got. Had we talked about that?
No, but we could probably.
Oh, fuck. Let's throw that in now because this is another serious issue, but we're just going to shit on this piece of shit.
And it's really related to the juniors. So fuck it.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Mitch Miller?
Mitch Miller.
Mitchell Miller.
Mitchell Miller. We're going to call him Mitchell Miller because, no, actually he doesn't deserve a full name.
He is And like, that's him. Mitchell Miller. Now.
Get fucked.
Yeah. This is just, you guys probably heard, it was a huge story.
Is that him?
Huh? Yeah, that's him. Dude, it's everything.
No, he was playing, but he's playing university hockey, not for Tri-City.
Huh? No, this year he was supposed to play university.
Oh, okay. I gotcha. I thought he played last year too.
No. So he had been committed to it.
Yeah.
How do we get here again? We were talking about
some shit. No.
Well,
oh, fuck it, actually.
I forget like our segue already.
God damn it, Trent. I don't remember.
I don't know how we got here, but anyways, let's talk about it.
Yeah.
Because
OHL. That's just no, there had to be more to it.
Yeah, I don't know how we got there.
Oh fuck. Hopefully no one's watching. Anyways, this piece of shit.
Has anybody watched yet? Oh, hold on. We have comments. We should go and check it out.
We have comments?
Oh, what? Audio's off from the video. Oh, well, that's common.
Yeah.
And fuck you, Maddie. Did we talk about him on the pod yet?
Not yet.
Oh, wow. It's a good thing we didn't record early. Maddie sucks.
But anyways, this guy, I don't even know how he got drafted to the NHL. I don't know how. Okay, this is going to get a little out of hockey context, but he got to where he was not being noticed for what he had done because he's white and rich. Guaranteed. That's what it is. This guy literally, I call it torture.
Yeah.
And
well, when you hear some of the things.
An African-American who was challenged in junior high, and he still got drafted in the NHL.
Yeah. So, and like when you're saying torture, like what the media has released, like what we know, there could be a lot worse.
Yeah,
okay? The thing you hear about him rubbing a lollipop in the urinal, making his kid drink it or eat it, using the N-word, calling him brownie.
Yeah.
And then being like charged in a juvenile court, and at the fucking court, like they said, he only felt bad for himself. He showed no remorse. Yeah, look, also there's surveillance video of him kicking and punching this young kid.
Yeah, there was physical abuse for sure. And apparently, according to the victim's mother, the only apology that they received was the court order written one.
Which is bullshit. Yeah. This is a garbage human being. And like, here's the thing. When you're a kid, you can do stupid things.
That's right. Everyone does stupid things.
If you grow from it, like there's people that were racist in their life.
We shouldn't say kids though. Even at 30 years old, you can do stupid things.
Yeah.
But it's how everything plays out after that that affects your life, whether it's negatively or positively. And this guy does not deserve to be playing hockey anywhere.
Yep. And his life's over. And I'm glad it is. And I'm sorry to say.
The worst part is apparently there's already KHL teams talking to him.
Well, yeah, because in Russia, they don't care.
Yeah. In Russia fucks you.
Yeah. Like, fuck, bitch. This is Russia.
This is Russia.
Yeah, I'm not surprised that happened. But just I remember. This is how we got here. Because when we were talking about the OHL, how they put out that they weren't going to have body checking, they got shit on, they double back. When this story came out, it was them saying that we were aware and we had talked that he could be like,
he could be reformed.
He could be he understood what he did was wrong and he deserved the chance. They put out that information,
right?
And everybody shit on them, and then they felt the pressure to do it.
Yeah,
now,
and so
I'm embarrassed for the organization for not doing that on their own.
In that context, the only reason that they, what did they call that when they
rescinded?
Yeah, when they rescinded the draft pick. It's only because people noticed.
Yeah.
If it wouldn't have been for social media, say this was like 1995, he'd be playing in the NHL next year.
Yep. Yeah, well.
So fuck this guy.
Yeah, fuck this guy. I'm happy that his life is probably over, and I guess
he's gonna have to find a regular job, and I'm not hiring.
Yeah, not hiring a piece of shit like that. Well, then again, Brad, you do need people.
Yeah, you're right. I'm fucking hurting right now.
So Mitchell Miller, maybe you have some redemption.
I'll take another 60-hour week before I hire him.
Or he comes to work for you, and then you give him lollipops.
Well,
taste your own medicine. And you can call him things like Whitey.
Oh, got him. I fucking got him good.
Just had to make light of a horrible
human being
situation.
So I guess when we're talking about return to play, we might as well bump it up a couple of levels and bring the NHL into the conversation.
Oh yeah,
considering this is
that's what this podcast is supposed to be about.
It took us a long time to get here, but we got here.
Wait, weren't we gonna try and do shorter episodes and then we ramble on? It's the meat of it's coming up now in the second hour.
I realize that alcohol or not alcohol, it takes forever for us to get to the topic we really want to talk about.
We get too excited. Things happen.
You don't do enough, so we slam it into one, and it takes a long time. Fucking deal with it. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Yeah. All right,
right,
so go ahead, Brad. You go ahead.
Return to play. It's happening. They keep indicating to a new year start, I guess you could say. Fucking Kanye over here.
I'm trying to do this for the hearing.
That was sign language.
Yeah, I'm doing this.
Okay.
You know how like every coronavirus thing, there's something that I'm pretty sure they're making shit up too.
That's every media thing.
Have you asked any deaf person if they actually are saying what they're saying?
No, they read the description at the bottom. Usually.
No.
Anyways, return to play, new year. They're actually talking about a January 1st, new year start.
Yeah, do it.
I'm excited. But with that comes some hurdles, I guess you could say, because the border's still closed.
I only know of one named Thomas.
That is such a great pun.
I can't stop him. You bring it out of me. You send me dad jokes every day.
You nailed it.
I Yakupoved it, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, the episode is not done. Anyway, so there's a chance that we're going to have an all-Canadian division.
Fucking right. That means 10 Battle of Albertas.
Right. But it also means 10 times against the fucking Maple Leafs.
So beat the Maple Leafs 10 times.
That's fine. It's just that
I'm pissed that everybody's saying that Toronto's going to win that division.
Oh,
fuck you. They're
That's
not the best team.
But I feel like we have more of a rivalry with other teams in the Pacific versus other Canadian teams because of how the league is set up right now. Right?
But if that vaccine comes out,
it's whatever. I'm not going to touch on that because we don't know, right? So let's say
I'm being hopeful.
I get it. I'm being hopeful that it happens like this, and we do have an all-Canadian division. So at least we get
and we can go to the games.
Pushing it a little bit.
No, anyway, I'm fucking going to a game this year. I don't care.
All right. But anyways.
I'm going to every home opener from here until the end of time.
So Calgary, Edmonton, Montreal, Ottawa, Toronto, Vancouver, and Winnipeg.
Very good. That was an alphabetical order, Brad. How'd you do it? Did you do it off the top of your head?
Off the top of my head.
Can you do the next one?
That would be fucking lit. Is that what they're saying these days?
Is that what kids say?
Lit.
All right.
But anyways, so we move on to the Pacific.
Let's
no,
see.
you can't do it. See, you fucked it up.
Anaheim, Arizona, Colorado, Dallas, Los Angeles, Minnesota, San Jose, Vegas. Huh?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Do you think people buy that we're that smart?
No.
Or do they watch how our eyes go to a certain part of the screen that has it written down?
For the Metro, it's Boston, Buffalo, Chicago, Detroit, Florida, Nashville, and St. Louis.
Like worst division. Who would ever watch any of the? Oh, Nashville. Nashville's there. Never mind. Atlantic,
Wait.
Carolina,
We're
Columbus.
missing a team.
Why?
We don't have Tampa in there.
I'm gonna guess they're with
So
Florida.
they're in the Metro. Okay, all right. I was like, that doesn't make sense. Why would
they won the cup? They don't get to play this year.
Why would Florida play?
They probably all got COVID after celebrating.
And then the Atlantic would be Carolina, Columbus, New Jersey, New York, Philly, Pittsburgh, Washington.
New York. Which New York was first?
Islanders and Rangers.
Okay.
As the alphabet states. I'm actually excited for that format. Just for 1 year.
They would say
forever,
four
right?
teams from each division make the playoffs.
Right.
I like the odds.
And then it's another bubble after that. I'm thinking.
No, by then vaccines are there and we have playoffs.
Whatever. All right, cool.
Yeah.
But it's still 4 from each division. But the playoff format would have to be adjusted too. So it could make for some really interesting hockey. And they want to play, 62 games?
Well, they said no lower than 48, I think. The number that Elliot Friedman said 56 is kind of the number that's being bandied about.
All right. So every game is going to matter a little bit more. And yeah, it'd just be awesome.
Okay. This is our way too early playoff picks.
All right.
Let's start with the worst divisions and we'll do Canadians last.
All right. Yeah.
Okay. Out of the Atlantic, who do you think of the
Pittsburgh, Washington, Rangers, and Philly.
No. Philly, Columbus, Carolina, Washington. I think Pittsburgh's out.
Actually, I'm going to drop
They fucking
Pittsburgh.
brought Matheson
Yeah, you're
and
right.
Cody Ceci
I
in.
replaced Pittsburgh with Carolina.
And Islanders, you can never count them out. Fuck.
Yeah, I know, but they're going to run into some tough times here. So yeah, I say Rangers,
Yeah.
Carolina, Washington. And
Did you say Rangers, really? You
Yeah.
think that high of them? Lafreniere.
I think so. What was my fourth team? Philly.
Yeah, well, Philly's a given.
Yeah.
All right. So in the Metro, this looks pretty easy. Tampa.
Buffalo.
Hey, they got Taylor fucking
They
home,
do,
man.
yeah.
Tampa, St.
Oh.
Louis.
No, it's going to get tough.
Tampa, St. Louis, and
Oh, no.
Boston for sure.
Tampa, St. Louis, Boston, and Nashville.
As a Preds fan, I'm very not excited.
I'm sorry. Chicago's in a rebuild.
I'm gonna say
not even
Florida.
building.
Florida. Bobrovsky, he's bound to bounce back.
No.
Actually, they fucking lost. They gutted their team.
Yeah.
They got a good blue line though.
I don't know.
Well, maybe Buffalo, man. Maybe fucking the Halsey Eichel
if
show.
Jeff Skinner, Eichel,
If Jeff Skinner scores more than 14 goals,
they'll still not make the playoffs.
Yeah.
But anyways. No, I think it's Nashville, St. Louis, Tampa, and Boston.
how do you think trades work?
Going forward,
Yeah, like if they make a trade during
honestly,
the season, it's
I could see it just being a trade freeze.
really.
Well, what do? They have a flat cap for this year, then go up,
Yeah.
and they're into January.
So I just thought about it. It was like, so
Yeah,
you make
no.
a trade and then a guy's got to quarantine for 14 days or
No,
something like.
exactly, and then they're starting in January, so that only gives you 2.5 months till the trade deadline. Like I really think it's going to be no trading till free agency.
Fuck sakes, COVID. Like, just go away. Okay.
All right,
Pacific Division. Well, you got to say Vegas.
Dallas.
You got to say Colorado and Dallas.
Yeah.
And the rest of the
card there,
teams suck.
honestly, I'll go with Arizona.
Oh, fuck Arizona. I'd go.
It's not going to be Anaheim. It's not going to be. Oh, Minnesota maybe.
I'm going to say San Jose.
Minnesota's always a sleeper.
I don't think
though.
San Jose was as bad as they were. Yeah, but Talbot's their goalie.
Yeah, so they're
Have
making
you
the
seen their
playoffs.
center depth? Have you seen their center depth? It's like Johansson, Bustad, Rask, and Eriksson Ek,
there's
and
always
Bonino. But like,
there's always 2 or 3 teams that make the playoffs that shouldn't
yeah,
be.
but San Jose, I don't think they're as bad as they were last year.
Okay.
Okay.
It's goaltending is their issue, just like LA. But anyways,
And we have the best odds here in the Canadian division
yep.
to make the playoffs. 4 out
Calgary
of
does?
7.
Yep.
Well, I'm going to say Edmonton, Montreal, Vancouver, Toronto.
Nice.
And I'm not doing it because,
Nice.
well, I'm sorry. That's actually hard because I think Montreal is way better.
Honestly,
I think Edmonton's way better. And I think that Vancouver just proved last year they were
yeah, but
pretty
they
good.
lost
And
half
Toronto-
their fucking team.
Guess so, but I think like
Ottawa is gonna
surprise.
They're gonna surprise some people. But I was gonna say Calgary, Edmonton, Winnipeg, and Toronto is what I was gonna say.
Really, you're gonna take Vancouver out and Montreal out.
Vancouver lost everything, man.
Okay. Well, let's just go through Canadian teams. Shadow. This is interesting. Now, I know you're gonna pick Calgary because you're biased.
Well,
Even if you weren't biased, I can
they have a starting
understand.
goalie now.
Okay, that's my issue. I think, but here's the thing is,
Here's the thing is, all right, we're all good.
oh, it's back. It's back. Markstrom is a great goalie, but it's not like you guys had poor goaltending last year.
You're right. And
Okay.
they made the playoffs.
All right, but where else did you improve?
Where else do we improve? Everywhere's.
You don't have Travis Hamonic.
I think
You
they're
don't-
still going to sign him.
Like Tanev came, I guess he could still return. But like Tanev, is he an upgrade on Brody or
He's not replacing Brody.
Yes, you said that Anderson's going to step
Anderson,
up, but
yes.
then you're also putting like a lot of pressure too on Valimaki to take a step, Shillington to take a step, and up front.
Valimaki right now is 1.1 points per game.
Yeah,
So, I have
we know that if they have 1.1 points per
as a
game
defenseman.
as a defenseman in a foreign league, that they're bound to win a Norris Trophy the next
That's
season.
right.
I'm
That's
aware.
how it
I'm
works.
aware. That
Yeah,
is
and
how it
Calder,
works.
apparently.
Yeah, he probably would. Anyways, I'm not like Calgary. I think they've made some nice like low key signings, but it's still like it's the top guys that I'm just not ready to put it into.
Okay, so I guess with
What?
that, I understood. What you
Yeah, but they
But-
sure came out wrong. I just want to put
So
it in.
let me make this argument to you. What did Edmonton do to get better in net?
Nothing.
Exactly.
But we got better everywhere else.
Where did they lose in the play-in round?
Well, that's the thing. There's too much stock in the play-in round, and our goaltending did the job to get us to a point where we were second in the division at the time.
So they're just as mediocre as the Flames goaltending.
Yes, but we overdid it on our depth up front.
Okay.
Turris, Ennis, Cahoon coming in, Pugliarvi coming in.
Cahoon has 30 points. 37 points is his high.
Huh? Yeah.
So,
but points per 60, he was a first-line player.
Whoop-de-doo.
That means that with the amount of ice time if he had more ice time, he would produce more.
Now
he's going to be playing with Draisaitl.
Now you're using analytics to try to,
even though I hate
get
analytics,
your team into the playoffs, whereas now the Flames analytically have way better goaltending. That'll stop more pucks.
I think that Markstrom is a good goalie, and he's going to do better.
Dallas, with Markstrom and net, Flames are moving on to the second round. That's the argument you're using.
No, that's not the. I'm saying we added way more depth on every part of our organization.
I don't think so.
James Neal is playing on our fourth line.
That's right.
That shows you our depth. A guy that scored, well, according to the NHL, 21 goals, because you can prorate that, but you can't prorate points. Whatever, fuck you.
Well, it's because he also didn't score a goal in the last fucking 6 months of the hockey season.
It's not like we planned that.
That's right.
So he did not. What I'm saying is we should have kept the pick.
No.
Yes. Don't keep me going on this. You know what? I was really fucking nice to you every time we do this.
What was that?
I was an accent. Okay. Every time we fucking talk.
Making soup and you're adding thyme.
I don't fucking know. Every single fucking time we talk about the Oilers and the Flames, I'm a pretty neutral.
But I'm not shitting on the Oilers.
Yes, you are. You're taking everything I said as a point why we are a better team, and you're saying I'm wrong.
I'm just using that as an argument for the Flames. That's all I'm saying is that you can use the same argument for the Flames. They've added some low-key signings that are supposed to make the team better. No different than the Oilers. You guys
are doing what the Oilers did every year we didn't improve. It's like, we'll just put this tweak on the fourth line, and that'll change everything. That's what I'm getting at. I think the Edmonton Oilers have added a lot more depth up front, and they.
But Trent, you're saying they added more to the fourth lines for depth.
No, we didn't. We added Cahoon, Ennis, Pugliarvi, and Turris are all top 9 players.
But you said it. They added small tweaks to make the team better. That's what you said.
No, I said we added more depth.
No.
I was saying Calgary, added just a little bit more to the fourth line.
You're saying that the Flames are doing what the Oilers did. My argument is I'm saying that the Oilers have done the same thing. They've added pieces to the puzzle, but until they prove that they can actually perform, it's no different than what the Flames do.
Do you think Barry is going to make our power play better or worse?
It'll be about the same.
Yeah, well, that's fine because we lost Klefbom. So doing that's one thing there. Okay, but up front, like our top line in the play round,
Turris got bought out because he didn't do fucking shit.
Because he could not play at a $6 million rate from the Nationals' top 2 lines.
You cannot.
So we bring him in to be a third line center at 1.6. That's a great fucking move.
Right. You're using money as your reason for him to be on the third line.
That's exactly what it is. It's price point, okay?
No. I'm talking about actual quality of player, Trent.
Yeah. What? If he puts up 35 to 40 points.
He's not, though.
Yes, he can.
I'm telling you that right now. He's not going to put that up.
Okay. What's our wager?
Our wager is that, I don't know.
35 points in prorated over regular 82.
Oh yeah, see now you're making clauses. No, I'm not fucking shaking.
Jesus fucking Christ.
All I'm saying
all you're saying is you're wrong. Okay.
All I'm saying is Calgary, Edmonton, Toronto, Winnipeg are making the playoffs.
Calgary is not going to make it. Okay, how do you say Calgary is a better team than Montreal?
How do I? Other than
actually,
let me rephrase. I was going to say other than goaltending. But realistically, Carey Price is starting to go downhill a little bit because of.
But now he's got
right?
Jake Allen behind him to take a lot
Who
off.
St. Louis got rid of because he couldn't stop a puck anymore.
Because he was one of the best goalies in the league last year. He was top 5
for minutes played.
He was top 5 in save percentage
for minutes played.
Okay. Yeah,
look at him.
But it's because they weren't playing him because Bennington is their guy and his price point. This is where his price point is the reason he got traded. That's the same reason Turris got bought out. That's the reason. Okay, like, are you seriously going to sit here and say that you are fine paying how much you pay for Milan fucking Lucic? You want to use money as an argument?
You're using that argument for Neil being on the fourth line.
Huh? I don't like that Neil's making that much money on the fourth line, Brad. What I'm saying here is that Jake Allen was moved because his salary was more than what the role was for him, so he gets traded. Okay. Doesn't mean he wasn't a good goalie. That's why he's going to be a better fucking support system for Carey Price.
What I'm saying is that Jake Allen's numbers were high because he didn't play as much. That's all I was saying, is that the games he played, he won. Yeah. He was good.
Same with Anton Khudobin. Do you think that he did pretty good when he had a run with it? The fact of the matter here was Jake Allen just wasn't their guy anymore. Bennington won them a cup, took over the job, so he got more starts, even though Allen was the better goalie.
Right. But so say last year, Jake Allen starts 10 games and he wins 8 of them. Mm-hmm. So that makes him look like a better goalie than Bennington. On percentages. Okay. But is he if he plays 50 games?
Who's a better goalie, Mike Smith or Mikko Koskinen?
Oh, fuck. That is a tough call. I'd have to say Mikko Koskinen.
By a long shot.
It's not a long shot.
It is.
I don't know.
Do you know that Mikko Koskinen is actually a pretty good goalie in that role? That's why.
As a goal. Wow.
As splitting it. So he played less time. If he played more, I think that his numbers go down. See?
Right. So
that's where, like, in Oilers' argument about, like, okay, if you look on paper, Markstrom was 918 last year, Koskinen was 917, but I'm not going to take that to mean they're both comparable. What I would say, Markstrom's a better goalie. He did that over a longer sustained time. But Koskinen, like, some goalies play better in that role.
Right.
But that's not what I'm getting at.
This year.
We're still getting you haven't even answered the fucking question that I started this whole fucking rant on. You
started a question.
Yes, I did.
Calgary's better than Montreal.
How is Calgary better than Montreal? Forward group is better?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Really? Toffoli, Anderson, and Gallagher are your top 3 right wings. So, who are your top 3 right wings?
So prove to me that Anderson is a quality NHL player.
Josh Anderson?
Yes.
Fantastic. 27 goals.
When?
2 years ago.
Exactly.
He was injured last year. He was not worth the contract. But that guy on the third line.
Before that, how many goals did he have?
20?
No, I think it was 18.
No.
As for his second year.
No, he's a great fucking player.
Now, I don't know why you're shitting on me so much. I'm telling you that the Oilers are making the playoffs.
I'm cool. If you agree, you're right. He had 19 the year before. Prorated, he would have had 20 goals.
Oh, fuck. Stop using
It's important.
Okay, there. So he's been in the AHL since 2015, essentially. And he's never played a full season except for 19.
Yeah?
2019, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was not worth that contract.
So he is not someone that...
Who's your third line right wing?
Third line right wing now?
Dubé. Do you think Dubé is a better player than Anderson?
I do.
No, you're wrong.
Come on.
Do you think Toffoli?
How the fuck do you think not?
Huh? Because Josh Anderson is way more proven.
No, he's not.
Dubé has more potential.
Dubé's proved more in the fucking 7 playoff games.
Who's your second line right wing? Who's your second line right wing?
Mangiapane.
Do you think Mangiapane's better than Toffoli?
Yes.
Fuck you. Like I can almost get on that more. Mangiapane is a great player, but I still think I'd rather have Toffoli.
Yeah, it's Mangiapane, Kachuk, and Backlund. So
and then I'll give if Lindholm's your right wing there, him and Gallagher are very similar.
Well,
like points wise and what they do.
They're not the same style of player, but Thomas Tatar.
He's probably not better than Goudreau.
No.
I'll give you that. Monahan and Danault are pretty similar. Monahan they are. Monahan gets a bigger bump because he plays with Goudreau. I see this is based on Twitter. I read from every fucking Flames fan I follow. They say Monahan can't carry the fucking load. Maybe Backlund and Danault are a little more similar.
Yeah,
let's give you that. Okay,
that's better.
All right. Let's go look at the D group. Weber and Giordano kind of cancel each other out.
Yeah.
Sherratt, Sherratt and Petrie would be the 2-3 there.
Yeah. So that would be like,
Is that your Anderson and
I don't know. I think
Anderson is
better.
Petrie?
I think Anderson's better than Petrie.
I don't think Anderson's as good as you guys.
I would say
I got
Shillington-
a personal vendetta against him.
Yeah, I know, but I'd say Shillington and Valimaki.
But you guys also got that.
Tanev, no.
You also got that Russian fucking guy. Anyways, I don't think you think that Calgary.
Okay, so
Calgary better than Ottawa?
yes.
Yeah. Is Calgary better than Toronto?
No. On paper, they're not. But on paper,
But you think they're better than Vancouver?
yes.
I don't think so.
What did Vancouver replace the players they lost with?
They lost Tanev, and they brought in Nate Schmidt. Nate Schmidt's an upgrade on Tanev.
Okay,
Okay. Who else did they lose?
Markstrom. They
Markstrom.
replaced him with Holtby.
That's a downgrade. That was actually a good move for like the future because obviously with the
Right.
expansion draft they didn't want to lose Demko.
And I mean, I'm not saying that Holtby's a terrible goalie. I think he's just on the down.
He's on the down, but the reason he knows he's in that transition mentor role.
And then
right?
who they replaced Toffoli with? Exactly.
Yeah.
And then
Actually, yeah, looking at their forward group, it's kind of a lot more bleak. I guess I can see it, but I'm thinking like you still got Pedersen, and I think that Pedersen's got 100-point potential.
So you're using Pedersen as an argument. Well, Goudreau's gonna have a great year next year.
I think he's more on the downswing.
Okay, maybe, but if you're saying about potential, Goudreau could have a 100-point season next year. He's done it before. Like I'm just,
Fair enough. I'll give you that. I just,
Winnipeg is kind of
coaching.
Sure, coaching. You can yell it as loud as you want.
Bill Peters
is not there.
Oh, you're right. What's his name? Jeff Ward. Yeah. I thought that everybody hated him.
Apparently, everyone in the dressing room actually really liked.
No, I mean like media and social media does not like Jeff Ward.
Whatever. I have not. It's not coaching anymore. Like, let's put it that way.
That's one thing I'd say about Edmonton. I fucking love that we have a smart coach.
I miss what the fuck was his name? Bob
Akins?
No.
Oh.
He's coaching in Switzerland. What the fuck?
Bob Hartley.
Yeah, Hartley. He had when he was.
I like how you say Bob, and it's like a coach named Bob. Oh, okay. There's. It's not like there's 1,000 of them.
But when he was coaching, he had even Goudreau blocking shots, and I've never seen that type of player since he left.
Oh, and actually, in Brian Burke's book, they talk about Bob Hartley because he came into that organization and gave, and that's who they brought in. They said that he's so good the first year because he's a hard ass, and then it wears. He goes, and Brian Burke talked about how there were certain coaches that you would hire them knowing that they're probably only here for a year or two.
But they gave him such a short leash.
But that's the thing, though. Like once, apparently, like he's
maybe you're right.
In the book, he talked about coaches like that, how like they like, and Ken Hitchcock's that guy too. How like the reason he turns people around is because he's a hard ass. He gets on you, and then but that's his method. And after a while, it weighs. Yeah. Like they said, like John Tortorella, the reason he's become such a successful coach
because he loves dogs. That's why.
Oh, well,
John Tortorella.
Fair enough. I heard a sad song about a dog today. I don't want to talk about it. My dog just died, so.
Really?
You didn't know?
Oh.
Yeah, my puppy, she got attacked by a cougar. I'm not kidding.
That's sad.
And then my dad calls me and he's like, gives me the whole spiel and tells me a story. And I'm like, oh God, she's dead. And he goes, so she's at the vet getting sewed up right now. I'm like, oh God, don't say that. Like, fuck you. I thought she was dead. And then 2 hours later, he called me and had to say, so even if we keep sewing her up, there's a good chance she's not going to make it. And it's going to cost too much. So we're putting her down. So yeah, depressing.
We were done with that.
I'm sorry.
So anyway, so now that we've actually had a little bit of reasonable discussion, Calgary, Edmonton, Toronto, and Winnipeg.
I'd put Montreal ahead of Winnipeg.
Okay. All right. Whatever. That's
Vancouver ahead of Calgary. That's just me. I'm sorry. Right, I don't think you guys are that good.
All right. Cool.
But Anyways.
We may not even get to see it if fucking COVID keeps going.
Fuck you. COVID is done. They made a vaccine.
Okay. So
The same people that made boner pills made a vaccine for this most contagious fucking thing to shut down the fucking world.
Everyone's gonna be walking around with a hard dick, but we're not gonna get sick.
Yeah. Maybe that's how we can stay 6 feet apart, you know? That's your measuring stick. That's fucking awesome.
Fuck.
I love
All right, on a lighter note, let's move into some like kind of the NHL has announced it, Adidas has announced it. There's
yeah,
new
I don't
jerseys.
really know the whole idea of these. What are
Neither.
these?
I actually don't understand it.
Is this like their only way to get revenue back in? Like we have
Maybe.
to come up with something?
But I do think it's cool how these reverse retros aren't all based on the same era. Each team is based off a separate era.
I like that Vegas has a reverse retro.
Yeah, but it's based off their ECHL teams. Like it has some background to it. It's not just random.
Oh, they went to the Wranglers.
Yes.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yes. So like the Flames is 98. So it's Blasty. I'm sure it's Blasty.
Is that the horse?
Yeah.
I hate how many people I follow on Twitter.
There's quite a few people that are teams that's 98, 97 era.
I don't even know what the Oilers is. I just know it like it's.
I think it's gonna be what you're wearing, but reversed.
But yeah, like
And
the orange logo.
Yeah, that's what I don't understand, right? Like
the Oilers had like when they were WHA, they kind of had that like this kind of look. Yeah. And
so like
that's cool.
It's cool. Like it's throwing a new third jersey out because most teams are going to they had a retro, but now those retros are becoming their standard jerseys.
Mm-hmm.
So throw in, hey, you know what? We want to take a third jersey you've had before and flip it so that it's now a home jersey instead of away or whatever.
Yeah,
it's kind of cool. Like I don't know. I seen the Adidas like promo for it, and it was really hard to.
There's been a lot
pick,
of tweets like showing like I don't know if they're concepts or leaks or something, but it's,
the only one that I've seen leaked is the Vegas one.
Oh, you want to see some live reaction shit?
No. Let's finish this up and then.
Okay, you're right. You're right. We'll have some fun. Oh yeah, we're watching the cabin.
So anyway, there's a few I'm excited for. I'm excited for the Flames. I'm excited for the Oilers. I'm excited for San Jose. I'm excited for Anaheim. I'm excited for Montreal. And Washington is the ones that.
The Anaheim one.
Yeah.
That if Wild.
Actually, I guess if Arizona's throwing like a reverse retro Kachina jersey with purple.
I hate the Kachina, everything about it. I hate that people like it. It's like, fuck you. Like that's the same one that Keith Tkachuk wore.
Yeah, you're right.
And I used to like Keith Tkachuk. And then his jizz had to play in the NHL, and they both
jizzes.
Jizzes.
So anyways, I thought we'd talk about that a little bit because it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Like this is a third jersey.
And it was the worst jersey ever.
Oh, I actually really liked it.
I remember when those came out, like I laughed. I was like, thank God they came out
honestly,
because like I like their like the heritage orange that they have that isn't their homes now.
Yeah.
Those were fucking sick when they came out. Like not as a fan.
At this time, this was right after Blasty kind of thing. And growing up, I hated the Blasty jersey. I'm like, that horse is fucking.
That's the only Flames jersey I ever had.
But now I look at it, I'm like, you know what? It's not bad. And if they're gonna flip it so that there's more detail and the colors are contrasting, I'm like, whatever.
I think that like when something comes out and it's controversial, there's a nostalgia aspect to it that like kind of
obviously what they're going after.
Because and that's the same thing with the Kachina thing. Like it's like when it first came out, everyone kind of had to say like, really, like this is the color. It's not great, and like the logo was too busy, is what they would say. And now it's just like these are sexy and stuff, and it's like, But and for me, like for the Oilers, it's been pretty much this has been the logo, right? This has been it, and then they throw it in 06. Or like 04, and you guys hated those, and jersey. I loved them.
That is fucking ugly.
I loved it.
I remember Matt.
Really,
I remember Tweets having one, and we were playing road hockey, and someone somehow managed. We were taking a break, whatever, and spilled the chocolate pudding all over it, and that's the best it ever looked.
I disagree. That was
fucking ugly.
I don't know why you would say that's ugly.
It's
the oil comet, the comet jerseys. It had symbolism, and like the color was great.
I got pissed. You can talk about your fucking oil comment.
Wow. No, I don't understand the hate for that jersey.
You can finish your last topic there. That has nothing to do with me.
Oscar Klefbom?
No.
Or the election?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay. Politics time. This is good stuff. I've been getting in, I stay off social media when it comes to politics. Do I? Not really. But the American election was definitely entertaining to go through. And I just decided I wasn't going to spew my opinion or anything or get into anything, but I will defend other people's right to vote who they want to vote for. I'll be the first to admit that I was hoping for Trump. I think he's a fucking idiot, but I also think he puts his people first, and that the radical left just bothers me. I don't know. They're a bunch of pussies, in my opinion. I'm sorry. Not all of you. And if I disagree with your politics, it doesn't mean we can't be friends. Like, that's a big thing. All right. So Tony DeAngelo, New York Rangers defenseman, was tweeting about Trump and pumping Trump up. And he was getting like attacked, like to the point where he had to delete like his Twitter account, which is ridiculous just because you have a different opinion. And leftists are the people that like to do fucking anti-bullying shit, and they're the biggest bullies of all time, right? So so there was somebody who I've had Twitter arguments with. His name is Chase. I don't have his credentials on here, but he's a fucking idiot Flames fan.
Whoa.
And, you even said. Anyways, so he was just attacking Tony DeAngelo. So I just got after him. And I was bringing up the point, hey, everyone's allowed to vote for whoever they want to vote for. And then he's like, oh, he's being a little pussy. He deleted his account because he knew he was wrong. I was like, or maybe because he's getting threatened for having his own political opinion. Like, fuck you. So this guy fucking comes at me on Twitter, and he thinks that he's
king shit.
King shit, but he was telling me, he's like, oh, you think you're so tough right now? And I was like, fuck, do yeah, I get into this, man? I have been fucking lifting weights, first of all. And I was just like, if he's going to call out something like, okay, if he's going to call me out like that, fuck it, let's do it. So I just said, all right, yeah, you fucking think I think I'm tough? All right, next time I'm in Calgary, time and fucking place, brother. Let's go.
Do it.
And he was like, well, fuck it, I'm in. But he used Bert Kreischer's GIF. No, he used the GIF where it's him on Conan saying, fuck it, I'm in.
That's right.
And I was just immediately lost all of my hatred for him. And I was like, well, fuck, you can't put a Kreischer meme. And then he goes, his next response was, did we just become best friends? And I'm like, fuck, I think we did. I went from literally like, let's go. I'm coming to Calgary. We're going to fucking have
We're going to rent a barn.
I was like, we'll have a discussion about politics. If we don't agree, let's fucking go. But and I was ready. I would have fucking just planned an impromptu trip if COVID wasn't going fucking ape shit like AIDS over there.
We drove.
We're still going to go.
Anyways, but just to touch on that a little bit, throughout like the entirety of my life on Twitter, I had followed that guy. And he had never once mentioned politics that I can remember. And all of a sudden this election came out and he was just like off the rails. I had to stop following him.
Yeah.
And I don't know what the hell it was. But anyways, with Tony DeAngelo, yeah, sure. Some of what he said was
controversial.
Up for controversy, not even controversial. Just depending who you talk to, they could be like, whoa, I don't like that. But at the same time, he's supporting the person he probably voted for.
Yeah, which
and
as a
Canada,
democratic person,
we might shit on people for voting for someone we don't like, but at the end of the day, we don't do what's happening in the U.S. right now. Like, this is unreal.
You vote for Trudeau, I'm going to think you're an idiot, personally.
Right?
Yeah, but one thing I would say is, like, I think that Justin Trudeau has been a good leader throughout COVID.
Okay, well, we're not going to start on that.
Why?
All right. I'm going to bite my tongue. I don't want to get into it.
Oh, now I'm very curious. And I'm just saying it's just because I think he's handled it with grace.
No, he hasn't at all.
In comparison to Trump, he's done a much better job.
No, anyways.
Okay. But I disagree. But we can still hang out.
That's what I was going to say.
Okay.
Is that in Canada, you vote for Trudeau. I vote for...
I don't vote for...
I should say you vote Liberal.
I voted for Trudeau the first time, and I did not vote for him the second time.
You vote for Liberal. I vote for
Can I at least be the conservative in this exercise,
you vote for NDP. I vote for the Green P.
Okay.
Whatever.
Yeah.
It's just, at the end of the day, we still have a beer together.
Mhm.
Non-alcoholic versus alcoholic, whatever. In the US, we shoot each other.
Yeah.
That is literally what it looks like on social media.
But then again, I've also found something during the election there, because I know a few people from Tennessee from my cousin's wedding that I still kind of keep in touch with a little bit, like just on social media. And if we go to the States, we try to hang out. They're in, like, Tennessee's a red state, and all of the people I met there were all Trump supporters.
I'm shocked they're like not 50-50 because they're not.
Well, it's like every red state though. The cities are pretty blue, right?
Okay, I got
so
it.
just and like that's where division is out there. But after and like D'Angelo, after like it was pretty much announced that Biden had won, he just said, "I hope for the best for my country."
Right.
And I hope Biden does a great job. And you know what I found, and talking to the people on like from Tennessee, it's just like, yeah, they wanted Trump to win. Biden won, but they're not going to pout. Like that's one thing. It's like how much, and like I think that there's a lot. We only hear about the radical left and the radical right, and there's a lot of people in the middle there that maybe are heavy leaning left, but want what's best for the country and hope that Trump did well, and vice versa from the red states, right? So, from people that vote red.
I guess only playing devil's advocate, Tony D'Angelo deactivated, I guess, his account after tweeting a bunch of stuff, and then he comes back and says that. It looks really bad because it makes it seem like what he was saying was suppressed by.
Well, that's what Chase said. He was like, "Oh, the Rangers probably like smacked him on the ass," and like this guy doesn't give a fuck. Tony D'Angelo does not give a fuck.
But then he says all this stuff, and then boom, his account is gone. Boom, he's back and says, "I wish the president does well." So that at that point it seems a little bit questionable. But at the same time, maybe he just deactivated his account so he didn't have to see all the bullshit. And then once the presidential race was done,
he wanted to, so you can, and that's the thing. It was just like it rubbed me the wrong way knowing what Chase's opinion was. Right. And that's why I went after. So I hope you listen, Chase, and you hear why you pissed me off and why we can still be best friends.
Apparently you're best friends. Fuck you, because he's my best friend. Yeah.
Well, I have a lot.
We're still meeting in fucking Calgary.
Yeah. Let's go, bud. I haven't been in a fight since like I was 19. Holy shit. Oh. And for those of you counting, you know that I'm 30. So that's 11 years ago.
Yeah, not me.
I probably should get into a fight.
That was only 10 years ago for me.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm still young.
I know. Lucky bastard.
So anyway, let's end this off with a little bit morbidity. Actually, it's hilarity for me.
A little bit of what?
More morbidity.
Morbidity.
Is that a word?
No.
Okay.
That's why I was wondering what the fuck you meant.
Let's end it off with a little bit more of a morbid ending.
A morbid ending.
Yes. Clef Bomb is not playing next year.
Oh. And that's important on this podcast because we know how important he is to me.
Apparently a rocket, according to Trent.
That's like, okay, man-meat rocket, like, you know, in Step Brothers, after they say that we just become best friends, how they got there was like one person you would sleep with if you're a man, and they both say John Stamos. I say Oscar Clefbaum.
I don't say Oscar.
I know you don't. You probably say Johnny Goudreau. No. Yeah. No. He's your type.
What the fuck does that even mean?
I feel like you'd like a man that you could handle. Or
Jesus Christ.
I don't know how you like to get down in a hypothetical gay situation. Like, you obviously don't think about it as much as I do.
Clearly I'm going after Barack Obama.
Really?
No.
No. That'd be interesting, I guess. You have to read Michelle Obama's book, Chapter 1, How to Tell If a Dick Tastes Presidential. It's a Bill Burr joke. I can't take credit.
But anyway, so that could affect the Oilers, though.
No, it would have if we didn't sign Barry, because
I guess so.
Tyson Barry came in, and that's pretty much why. And like Ethan Bear, he was really good last year. You expect him to take a step. I'm really bullish on Caleb Jones. I think that he's the one that's going to have to take most of that ice and maybe step into a top 4 role.
Really?
And if not, Chris Russell pretty much comes in. And that's why he got the extension too, right?
Well, no, he got the extension for the draft.
Well, that too. But it's also, I think, like, he's a great guy to have with a bunch of
He
young
blocks
defensemen.
4,000 shots a year. So
Yeah.
if your goalies suck.
And yeah, but the other thing about Chris Russell, what's great about him is he's just that kind of veteran guy that you want your young guys to learn from. He shows up, he's a good pro, and he does his job and goes home.
I've been telling you since you got him.
Yeah. And now he's going on year 5 with us, and he's going to have a year 6. And
yeah,
fuck, I'm buying a jersey. I'm going to get a Chris Russell.
Whatever.
Actually, I pulled the Chris Russell when I was playing for the Capitals. Like a legit one that worked. Like I did the whole like get down and sweep the stick and knock the puck. It's fucking great. Fuck. Scary and like because every time you're at face level with a fucking puck, it ain't fun.
Yeah, we've seen that happen at our first.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, so we're gonna finish
golf ball.
Story.
Okay,
so
you tell it.
Our first and only game
I hope you listened
in
to
beer league. A buddy of ours came back after having played rec hockey or beer league hockey in 2 years, and we're probably 3/4 of the way down the first period, I'd say.
No. This was literally our second shift. He was my D partner.
Really?
This was shift 2.
Okay, so it was early in the first period.
Like 8 minutes into the game.
8 minutes in because we take 12-minute shifts. Anyways, face off. The other team tries to chip out the puck. It hits off our buddy's stick. It hits him in the eyebrow. Okay, and
looked like nothing.
It looked like it hurt, but he was going to get off the ice, put ice on it, and be done with it. Well, as he was getting off, I'm sitting on the bench, and it almost looked like his eyebrow was legitimately hanging out because it had split, but it wasn't bleeding. So anyways, he went into the dressing room, and it turns out that what happened was that it never actually split, so it wasn't bleeding. So the blood was pooling in his eyebrow, and it was overhanging his eye. He had to go to the hospital just get the eye drained. It was fucking unreal.
Yeah.
So
I was on the ice. Like I was probably the closest person to the incident because he had kind of pinched in, and I was kind of half committed to like covering the other side of the point, but also I had to think about coming back. And then all of a sudden it's just like the play stops, and I didn't think nothing of it. I was just like, oh, my old defense partner, he's a little past his prime, he's got to get off. Davey. And then, he seems like a good dude. And anyways, just like, I was like, it looked like nothing. I seen the speed of the puck there. And then when we got in for intermission, he had sent the pictures that I showed you there to our group chat. And we're like, holy fuck. And I just felt really bad because I was just like, yeah, this is kind of annoying running time off the clock. Like, just fucking get up.
Well, he was saying that it only hurt right where the puck hit. Like, nowhere else it hurt.
Yeah.
And his whole eye was just fucking black. But he was telling me, he's like, I was on the fence about putting my visor on. He's like, but first game back, he's like, after 2 years, he's like, that first couple of games you breathe different than when you're in shape, right? He's like, it's just going to fog up all the time. So I didn't put it on, and then that fucking happens. So.
Yeah, that's why I had to play 45 or play a lot more and score 2 goals.
That's why you scored 2 goals. You're on nice
2 assists.
Jesus Christ.
Then had 5 assists my next game.
Shares some
9 points in 2 games, 4.5 points per game. Not a big deal.
Not a big deal.
All righty.
All right, cool. So this was actually a really great episode, I have to admit.
I think that,
we started off by serenading you.
We have to serenade them out, don't we?
No, we
don't. Yeah, we do.
No.
Anytime what's a good song? What's a good song to send it away with?
Hey there, Delilah, what's it? No.
Where's that?
Oh, it's close.
Yeah. I know who I want to take me home. I know who I want to take me home. Take me home.
Okay, bye.
Oh, good God.